Hey Ravens fans, I have the privilege of introducing you to one of the newest members of the Ravens staff, new secondary coach Leslie Frazier. Coach, first of all, let me just say welcome to Baltimore.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you here. And just kind of take me through what these last few weeks have been like and why you ultimately decided to come here and join John Harbaugh's staff.
Well, John and I, we have a long history together. We coached together in Philadelphia. We had some great years there. And as you know, he's a tremendous guy. And then a chance to, be around a guy like Ozzie Newsome as well. And knowing so much about Baltimore and the Ravens and the type of fans that I've experienced as a visitor here, it's an exciting place to be. And but more than anything, the relationship with John had a lot to do with it. And knowing there are some pieces to the puzzle that are here. This team is really not that far away.
You talk about that relationship with John. You're one of several former head coaches that have joined his staff. Mark Trestman is another, Marty Morningweg, guys that are currently on the staff already. What is it that makes it attractive about joining his staff that so many head coaches previously have wanted to come and work for him?
Well, naturally the success that he's had in his time here at Baltimore, but in my case, just having a chance to work with him daily, when we were both assistants, I know the type of man he is, I know the type of father, type of husband that he is, and the type of leader. He's a tremendous leader. He had great respect from his players when we were assistant coaches, and to see him transform and do the same things here in Baltimore, that was something I got excited about, being a guy who's been a former head coach. I looked at it as an opportunity to come and just learn from him and be a part of a great staff. He's put together a very, very good staff.
So, Coach, there's a buzzword around here. I'm sure you've probably heard it a few times, turnovers. People talk about turnovers. That was an area where the defense struggled last year, only 6 interceptions, 14 total turnovers. How many times does that word come up, either during the interview process or since the time you've been here?
Well, anytime you coach on defense or play defense, that's a big deal, takeaways. I think when you take a look at the teams that were in the Super Bowl a season ago, Carolina being number one, to finish with, over 40 takeaways during the course of the year, I think that had a lot to do with their getting to the Super Bowl. And when you're playing good defense, that's the buzzword, takeaways, take the ball away. And if you can do that, your football team, your defense is going to be better. So it's something that, we're going to be talking about throughout the year, and hopefully we can get those numbers up.
Yeah, how do you change those numbers? And is turnover something you can teach? Because sometimes people look at it and they say maybe there's a little bit of luck, and probably that is part of the equation. But how do you flip those numbers and have a team that really has an eye for the football and knows for the football?
Well, it's something that you got to talk about, but you can work on it as well. We're going to have some drills where we're working on taking the football away in practice and emphasizing taking the ball away, with defensive backs coming in, punching the ball out, trying to catch the football when it's in the air, and just being aggressively, going after the football. But it's something you can teach, it's something you can talk about, but a lot of it is a mindset, getting to the football and just thinking takeaway when you get there, not just being content on making a tackle, but finding a way to force the football out. And if you get in that mindset, we think those takeaways will come.
This is the time of year where a lot of the coaches, you guys are kind of holed up in their offices and watching a lot of film on college guys, watching a lot of film on free agents. But I'm sure for you, too, you're watching a lot of film on the team last year just to learn this personnel. What impressions do you have about this group that's in place here already?
I don't think the cupboard is empty. I think there's some talent there. There's some guys that can be developed. I'm really looking forward to working with Jimmy Smith. Jimmy is a guy who, I kind of scouted when he was coming out of college and saw a lot of potential with him, and looking forward to getting a chance to work with him. Will Davis, as well as Sharice Wright, had a chance to talk with him. There's some talent there in the secondary, and just a matter of being able to help them to develop a little bit and grow as players. But there's a chance for those guys to take the next step.
You talk about Jimmy. He's a guy, he makes no bones about it. He wants to be a shutdown corner in this league. He had a big contract, and he wants to be a number one guy. He wants to be that shutdown guy. What does it take to be that kind of a cornerback, and how do you get Jimmy and help him kind of get to that point?
He and I, we've had a couple of conversations over the last couple of weeks that I've been here, and we've been texting one another and talking a little bit, and just making sure that you come in with the right frame of mind. You have to stay healthy.
Right.
He's been a little bit banged up, but you got to stay on the field. But also, you got to take care of your body in the off season, do the things you got to do to prepare to have a great year. But right now, his mindset is in the right place. So the next step is for us to get on the field and then begin to gain some confidence by making some plays and realizing his goal of being the best corner in the National Football League and being in multiple Pro Bowls, and he's more than capable of seeing that happen.
The guy who's played on the other side of Jimmy for so many years here is Ladarius Webb, and now he's going through the transition process, going into his 8th season of moving to safety. He's talked about how he's excited about this move. How do you kind of help a guy who's he's a veteran player, going into his 8th season, make that transition from corner to the back end of the defense?
I think it starts with the desire that he has. I've talked with Ladarius on the phone, and he has a desire to, as good of a corner as he wants to be even better at safety. Well, now you're ahead of the game because of that attitude. He's approaching it like, this is a chance for me to really extend my career and then take my game to another level. So as long as he has that mindset with his athletic ability and his instincts, he has a chance to be as good or better at safety than he was at corner. But a lot of it starts with his attitude and his approach. And right now, his attitude and his approach is the right one.
Sounds like obviously the process of building relationships with these guys has already started through phone calls and text messages. And the conversations that I've had with some of the players in the secondary, they've said that you kind of walk into that room with instant credibility based on your track record as a coach and as a player. What's your approach when these guys all get back here in April and May and it's the OTAs and the offseason program? What's your approach to kind of winning over that room and inspiring those guys once you get in that room?
Just thinking back to when I played, what kind of triggered me, what was something I looked for in a coach. And all you really want a coach to be able to do is put you in the best position to succeed. And that's what my role is as their position coach, to put them in a position. Now it's up to them to go out and make the plays. But that's what I have to do, put them in a position where they can make plays and then let them do what they are getting paid to do, and that's to make those plays and help our team win.
And just lastly, Leslie, what has you most excited about this group going in? What can we expect? What has you most excited about these guys going into next season?
I think the thing that gets me excited is the fact that there is some talent there. There are some guys that are really hungry to rebound from a season ago and have a great desire to be what Jimmy wants to be. They want to be great. And so, that gives you a chance when guys have that type of attitude. And then it's just a matter of me, taking care of things from a technique standpoint, a fundamental standpoint, and helping their games to grow and develop. But it starts with their attitudes and their approach. And as long as they feel the way they feel right now, I think we can help them.
All right, Coach. Well, hey, we really, really appreciate the time and welcome here to Baltimore.
Thank you.